Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As we welcome you once again at the 55th Annual Congress, the National Congress of the African National Congress, coming to you live out of the Johannesburg Expo Center out in Nazareth. And as we proceed with the conference, a lot is taking place. Now, one of the central issues as far as the African National Congress is concerned is international relations. And talking about international relations, specifically, we are talking about Palestine, the ANC's position on Palestine. We've seen in previous Congresses resolutions that were adopted as far as Palestine is concerned. And the Palestinian delegation is present at the Congress. Earlier on, they made a submission, and we are pleased. We are honored to have to be in the company of the Palestinian delegation that is represented here at the conference. And with me is Lieutenant General Jibril Rajoub, member of the Central Committee of the Fatah Movement, and also the Secretary General of the committee. Lieutenant General Jibril, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa ala Sha'ab Janub Afriqa. To all South Africans, I am gratitude to what you are doing, your support, your solidarity, your solid and clear-cut position on behalf of our justice cause is appreciated by all Palestinians, all Palestinian political factions. We are owing you a lot. You are the disciples of a global icon, Nelson Mandela, and we are the disciples of a great national icon, Yasser Arafat. I am conveying regards, respect, appreciation to everybody, to all the people of South Africa in general, but also to the ANC, with whom we share always a lot in the past, in the present, and we are counting on you for the future. South Africa free, Palestine should be free. No freedom without having the Palestinian people the right to enjoy the minimum right of self-determination, to live in their own independent, sovereign Palestinian state according to the international legitimacy. This is a must. Without that, no regional stability, no security for anyone. This fascist, racist occupation, the Israelis could not and should not enjoy security and recognition and normalization without paying the bill, without recognizing our right to have our own independent Palestinian state with Jerusalem its capital.
Yes, Major General. In fact, the sentiments that you've expressed, and they're very, very welcome because over the years, we've spoken to so many people out of Palestine. We've spoken to activists. We've spoken to people who have diplomats. We've spoken to people who are the intellectuals, and everyone shares the same sentiment as you as far as South Africa is concerned, the South African support for the Palestinian cause. And you mentioned Nelson Mandela, and the great man said that South Africa cannot be free until Palestine is free. And he went on further to say that the biggest moral issue of our time is Palestine.
You know, I was in Israeli jails. I spent 17 years in Israeli jails. And we all Palestinian prisoners who count hundreds of thousands, always we were inspired of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was for us a model. And I had a great honor after his release that I met him. And I think Mandela is philosophy, Mandela is doctrine about freedom, about self-determination, about human rights, is part of our Palestinian national doctrine. What he did for South Africa, uniting South Africans people, ending the apartheid regime with tolerance, with unity, with also sharing of power with
Yes,
everybody.
can I just stop you there?
This could be a
if,
model for us.
yes, sorry, can I just stop you? If you could just put your mic a bit closer to your mouth, just a bit higher up. There we go. Okay. Yes, sorry for that interruption. You can continue.
Yeah, this is Mandela, and this is Mandela is national and even humanitarian doctrine for us, even in schools, in different generations, all political factions, whether it's national, whether it's Islamic or Mandela was and will remain as a source of inspiration for the future. We also had power to to live in Israeli jails with the principles of Mandela, who was also at the same time, he was somewhere in a jail. Anyhow, as a Palestinian, we still count on South Africa. All the political parties and the groups, we do need you in three fronts. The first one, your support in the international uh, organizations, platforms, and so on, and also to help us to end the split, which is a disgrace, which is a shame for the Palestinians. And I think South Africa could contribute, could help, could develop some kind of mechanism to build sharing of power, to build a national unity according to our national project, which is a Palestinian independence, a Palestinian democratic state, a Palestinian state with one authority, with one gun, with one police, with one law, with democracy, with human rights, with right of expression, rights for women. And the only way to develop sharing of power should come through general elections. The Palestinian national unity, recognizing the international unity as term of reference to settle this conflict, to corner this enemy, the Israeli, is a must. It is a must, and we think that we have, and we will continue working to achieve that. But also, we do need friendly people, friendly political parties like ANC and others to help us to bridge gaps and to achieve a strong and solid national Palestinian unity under the umbrella of the PLO.
Yes. Now, we've seen in the past as well, and this conference is no different, where we've seen when it comes to international relations, uh, one of the key areas or upfront we hear about Palestine and the ANC stated policy on Palestine. And this policy hasn't been one that is behind closed doors. The ANC is very open about Palestine, about its support for Palestine. And we've seen many resolutions that have been adopted at conferences like this national conference as well. Now, today you had the opportunity of addressing the conference. What was your message to the conference?
You know, was message was clear. First of all, we, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank and we appreciate the policy, the position of ANC, and at the same time, we insist in the current situation, as we have a crazy fascist Israeli government, that Israel has no right to keep behaving as the bully of the neighborhood, as therefore investing more and more efforts in international organizations, with the regional players, to engage direct with the Palestinians, with the Palestinian political faction. We do believe that this is a great contribution to have the Palestinian people keep having a hope. Nothing worse than losing a hope. Having South Africans in Palestine coming to South Africa and talking to the people here, ANC and other political factions and groups, is a clear message to the Palestinians that you are not alone. That we are the disciples of Mandela also with you. We were with you and we still with you and we will continue with you. No freedom for South Africa without Palestine free, as a great icon Mandela once said.
Yes, and also when one looks at the Palestine solidarity movements in South Africa, and there's many of them, and the relationship that they enjoy with the ANC and the ANC government in terms of the Palestinian cause. And we've seen that the government, we've seen the African National Congress have been very supportive of the Palestine organizations, the solidarity organizations in this country as well.
Yeah, I am aware of what's going on here among those groups, and we call on them to continue their support. And I think also from our side, we have to increase and we have to develop the cooperation and the coordination, because as long as it's also a good message to the Palestinian people, also it's a clear message to the Israelis that the Palestinians are not alone, that it's the time that your fascist, racist, apartheid regime should disappear. The occupation and the colonial settlements on the occupied Palestine should be dismantled and go to the garbage of the history.
Yes. Now, one thing we've noticed here in South Africa, and this is a big talking point amongst many of the Palestinian activists in this country, is looking at the government. Yes, they've got a stated policy on Palestine, they're supportive, but they'd like to see the government do a lot more. Now, if you look at, for example, the whole question surrounding visas and
Surrounding
visas for
peace.
Palestinians coming to South Africa, where they need to apply for visas, whereas Israeli citizens should not. Now, that is, these are just one or two issues that is sending a message to the ANC that you need.
For sure. I think there are a lot of issues we have to discuss and deal with them on the bilateral level, on equal, as brothers, as allies, rather than to go to the media. I think a lot of things should be corrected in the bilateral relationship between Palestine and South Africa, between the Palestinian people and South African people.
Yes, and just talking about that bilateral ties, how is that relationship? Is it on?
100% functioning, and all the offices, all the facilities of this country is open to the Palestinian people, and you have a very active and good mission in Ramallah.
Yes. Now, also coming back to today's conference, and I'm sure with international relations, we'll get to know later on in the conference in terms of what was discussed and what more can the South African government, what more can the African National Congress do for the Palestinian cause? In your mind, what more can be done?
On the bilateral or on
No. Just
and
generally in the
international?
support.
I think,
Just
I don't think that we ask them more than what they are doing and what they have already approved, either recently in their policies or in this Congress. But I think that we have to activate a bilateral mechanism to work together in the international or with the international community. But we have no remarks, negative remarks about their policies, what they are doing, and sometimes even they are leading the friendly countries in supporting and contributing and trying to confront this crazy fascist Israeli with an American support, with some Western support, even ignoring the violations of human rights, ignoring the violations of the international legitimacy, Security Council resolutions, and so on, so on. Dictating realities on the ground, building colonial settlements in the occupied territories. We do believe that South Africa is leading, and a South African statement have a great impact on behalf of the Palestinian cause everywhere.
Yes, and just finally looking at this whole message of unity, and looking at South Africa, where we've come from, as far as apartheid and ending apartheid goes, and the ANC, since democracy, has managed to unite a nation together. And I'm sure that there are many very valuable lessons that can be actually learned as far as unity is concerned, even for the Palestinians.
I think we do need unity. No way to have a Palestinian state without having a national unity and having a national census about our political plan, about the resistance, and about the future. The emergence of a Palestinian state should be constructive and contributing to regional stability and global peace, without also having a national census, how to develop a mechanism to build the sharing of power through democracy and elections. I think, he who is benefiting from this split is the occupation and the Israelis. And they do use it as an excuse. South Africans, ANC, and other groups could be a model that we can work together and we can cooperate together under one umbrella and under one political plan. We have to work together, and we have to build a mechanism that we can build and behave as one family. I think this is a shame for me as a Palestinian, but we have to work, and we are in need of our friends from all over the world, including from this country, to push us to bridge gaps and to have a national unity against the only enemy is the occupation. For one end, one goal, independence and the freedom for Palestine and for the Palestinian people.
Well, Lieutenant General Jibril, I must say Jazakallah to you. Shukran for your time and taking time out. I know you've had a busy schedule at the conference, but we do appreciate you taking time out and obviously being part of our broadcast here at Salam Media.
A great honor for me. Best regards from the bottom of my heart to all the people, the great people of South Africa. What you achieved, you should be proud of. And everything, your contribution in Africa, for Asia, for the whole world is great. Keep united, will remain strong. Be loyal to the legacy of your veterans, of your national liberation movement, to Mandela and his colleagues, the pioneers who led the revolution and who achieved independence and freedom for you.
Well, Jazakallah khairan for that and for that wonderful advice as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, brother.
Yes, that is the Palestinian delegation that is here represented at Nasrec at the ANC conference, and yes, quite a very inspiring discussion, and particularly looking at the ANC and its close association with Palestine.